Before I begin, I want to give a thanks to all of you out there watching this or even not watching it. Um, those of you, you all inspire me. All you turners, you makers, you resin artists, wood artists, crafters and enthusiasts, thinkers and tinkerers. I pay attention to you all, watch your videos. You inspire me to be more creative, and I really, really appreciate that. And thank you. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Today's project is one that I wasn't planning on doing. I was walking through the aisle of Walmart and came across these things called Melty Beads. I guess there's something that you use to make patterns out of, and then you heat it and it melts into that pattern. And so the wheels got turning, and I picked up a bag of them and brought them home. Since I had never used them before, I wanted to just experiment a little bit on something small. And so I decided just to make a bowl rim using them. I had this piece of hickory that's been sitting around here for a while that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, and I figured it was a good opportunity to put that to use. So I made a little ledge on my hickory after I rounded it out, and then took some shower liner and wrapped it around it and used that as my casting container. Hot glued the bottom. So I put the melty beads into the container and used my heat gun. I used it on low. Low seems to do just fine. I didn't want it to get too hot since I wasn't sure what to expect. I did a couple of layers and they melted in together and bonded pretty good. Like always, I went with Total Boat. That's what I use for everything for my resin. I kept it clear, that way the colors could come through and I could see what exactly these melty beads were doing. I wasn't sure if the heat from the resin, when it cures, if that was going to make them melt even further. I didn't know, but it turned out that it didn't change the melting aspect of the beads at all. It held exactly how it was when I put it into the casting. These melty beads, they cut just like resin. They cut pretty easily. I did discover though that as I was sanding, the heat from the sanding would make them a little bit softer, and it would want to try to pull out of the resin itself, and it ended up starting to look like fish scales and even dog fur at one point. It was kind of stretching further out. So to get around that, I ended up using CA glue, thin CA glue, and I put a layer of CA glue to hold it all down in a kind of a protective layer, if you will, from the sandpaper and the heat from pulling itself up. In the end, with the way that the rim is, it's nice and colorful, it's cute, it's going to make a nice little candy dish for us to have around the house here. Um, this one, it did have some air bubbles that got trapped in underneath some of the melty beads. Um, I'll have to figure out how to get around that the next time. You can't really tell unless you're actually looking for something wrong with it. And us turners, we're going to look for something wrong with it. I think these melty beads have potential to be used on a larger scale with resin. I'm going to figure out the best way to go about it for my personal use. I think I'd like to actually try doing a egg out of one, a larger size egg, just to see how it would turn out. On this piece, I used a handful of tools, but mainly I used my gouge and my square scraper, carbide scraper actually. I did use a round nose scraper towards the end, just for a little bit of a finish. I sanded my usual 220 through 800. Denatured alcohol cleaning off as frequently as possible. Also use my axe, little sanding sealer. I did put a few coats of OB Shine juice on it. These Melty Beads, they do have potential, and I'm looking forward to working with them a little bit more in the future. Let me know what you think. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Opinions would be appreciated. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see all the new stuff I do. Welcome back, subscribers. If you think it's worthy, share it. Get it out there. It helps me a lot. And remember, y'all, that would do it.
Did what I had to do, and this is enough for me. Never meant to be a winner, never meant to be a quitter, but this is how I lose satisfaction. Cheap thrills, cheap tricks.
So while turning this, I did find that the heat generated from sanding did want to pull out the little melty beads in there. I got around that by putting a coating of CA on it, and that kind of protected it a little bit from the heat wanting to grab and pull that out. I'm kind of pleased with it. However, I think I'd approach it a little bit differently next time. This one here, I've got plans for this to stick around the house here actually, and stick our household Hershey Kisses and little Hershey's miniatures in it. A nice good piece of hickory that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, and glad it found a home. Tell me what you guys think. By all means, positive, negative, like, dislike, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. I've got a bunch of new stuff coming. It's actually laying all over the place here. Things I've got planned. Share the video, and thanks for watching.